Hey y'all, I'm back with my December 2025 reading wrap up, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Books with Kimberly. Don't forget to like, comment, share my channel, and subscribe. Y'all, I'm back with the books that I ended the year reading in the month of December. I read a total of 10 books. 3 of those were audiobooks, 7 were ebooks. So let's get right into them. The first book was on my most anticipated reads list, and that is Audre and Bash Are Just Friends by Tia Williams. This book was really cute. It is young adult. Tia Williams is one of my go-to authors when it comes to romance, women's fiction. I really enjoy her books. This is the first book I've read by her that is YA, and the main characters are Audre and Bash. Audre is the daughter of Eva Mercy, and we get introduced to Eva Mercy in 7 Days in June, where she gets into a relationship with Audre's now stepdad. So in this book, Audre is adjusting to having a stepdad, and the dynamics have changed now because her mom is slipping when it comes to some of her school events. And on top of that, her father, who lives in California, they're having a little baby boy. And so every summer, Audre usually goes to California and has a vacation with her dad and stepmom. But because of the new baby that's coming, he tells her that they need to focus on the pregnancy, getting the baby here, and she has to stay in Brooklyn with her mom and stepdad. She is not excited about that, but she is focused on her Stanford admissions, and so she decides she's going to write a book to help her get into Stanford. And the book is going to be a guide for teenagers of just how to survive life as a teenager. Audre is a future therapist, y'all. She literally charges her peers to give them therapy, and they love it. In comes Bash. Bash is the new kid in town. He has a reputation of being a bad boy, of girls and boys flocking to him, throwing parties, living it up. The two of them meet, and immediately there's like a little interest there. There's a spark. But of course, Audre is not for the bad boy thing. Audre's best friend, Revna, tells her that she needs to have some fun. She gives her like a little bucket list of things to do over the summer. And Audre says she needs a friend to help her with that list, and she enlists Bash. So her and Bash are connecting. They're just friends for now. But I think this was a really, really cute book. I did expect more because at first it was giving me Joya Goffney's Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry vibes. But soon I realized that I didn't really like the format of her and Bash going through the list of things she did. I wasn't really interested in that plot. Those chapters kind of drugged to me. But when it really got into the truth of why Bash moved to New York, Audre and her mom started to really bump heads. That family drama really drew me in. And plus the two of them coming together and dealing with the feelings that they're growing for one another was so beautiful to me. So overall, this book did sell me at the end, and I give it 4 stars. The second book I read was Calling All the Blessings by Beverly Jenkins. This book was so good. It is the 12th book, the final book in the Blessing series by Beverly Jenkins. Y'all, this town of Henry Adams is just so heartwarming, so wholesome, so beautiful. I get choked up just thinking about it because it just has so much love and history and just beauty in this town. The first book, we discover Henry Adams and Bernadine, who has bought this town off of eBay, and she's brought in some foster kids and foster families to just help this community grow and become a family, and she's opening up businesses. And so by book 12, there are more people who've moved there, more businesses, love stories everywhere. The kids are growing and thriving in this community. It's just such a beautiful, lovely story. Loved it. Give it 5 stars. Really recommend if you just need a palate cleanser, a very family oriented, beautiful story, diverse cast, romance, kids being silly and doing stuff that kids do. You will love it. My family loves this series. The next two books are by a new author that I just discovered, and that series is The Devil Wears Baccarat by Jatoria C. There are 3 books in this series, and in December I read the first 2. Book 1 is about Alexander and Kenya. This is an interracial romance series, so that did throw me off because I just been in Black love land for the past few years. And this being dark romance added another level of newness for me. The Baccarat family is in the mafia. They play no games. Their IT person is spilling some family secrets and messing up their illegal business. They have to eliminate him in a gruesome way. So in comes Kenya and her brother Kofi. The 3 brothers show up at Kenya's home like, look, you and Kofi are coming with us because Kofi is going to be our new IT guy and y'all don't have no choice. Alexander, who is the middle brother, immediately is attracted to Kenya and claims her as his future wife. So seeing the 2 of them start this relationship, and she's finding out how crazy and dark he is and how he likes to unalive people, but she here for it. And then they be having some steamy scenes that's steamy but also weird and dark. I give this book a 3.75 rating, which is 3 stars for me. What's keeping me from rating it higher is that I wanted a little bit more romance, a little more funny vibes. I know maybe that's not common in dark romance, but it could have been lightened up a little bit with just a little humor, even if it was dark humor. So book 2 is about the older brother, Constantine. He has 30 days to get married, and he decides that he's going to marry Audre without her permission. He literally finds a way to get her to sign some papers, and the papers end up being a marriage license. Y'all, Audre is not having it. She destroys that man's house, but he's a billionaire, so he's just like, look, we can buy a new house. I can buy all this, get this cleaned up. It ain't no problem. It does anger him. So seeing how dark and angry he gets was funny. I do think this book had some more lighter moments because Audre is funny and not having this new life as a mob wife. But of course, she ends up folding, and the 2 of them end up liking each other, which grows into love. This was another one that was dark and steamy and was into some things, child, but still a really good book. And I give this one 4 stars. The next 2 books I read are in the erotic love language series by BriAnn Danae, and that is Thottie or Nice, which this was a holiday read. It was not giving Christmas vibes though. It's like one of those stories that just happened to be Christmas Eve, Christmas, but it wasn't giving, holiday vibes to me. We introduced to this couple in the first book of this series, and I think Thottie or Nice is book 4. So it's just a catch up of those characters from the first book. So it wasn't giving much plot. It was just giving smut. And yeah, I could have done without this one, so I'm giving it 2 stars. The next one is Yours to Have, which is like the 4th or 5th book in this series. I really enjoyed this story. We get introduced to Kima, who is sick and tired of her boyfriend, who is not giving her the attention that she deserves. So she breaks up with him, and in comes Tyrell, who can hold a conversation, who can give the attention that she needs. It's a really quick novella, but within this story, we get one of the coolest dates I've ever seen, which is literally at like midnight. Tyrell takes her to a Black-owned bookstore that is 24 hours, and he tells her, pick a number 1 through 20. She picks 20. You can get 20 books. 20 books? Do you know what Kim would get with 20 books? I don't care if I already had the book at home. This is a new one. 20 books. I was so there. So of course you have this cute little relationship blooming. You get some steaminess with it. You get a good book date. I was here for it. I give it 4 stars. The next 3 books are a part of a series that I started, a fantasy series, and that is Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham and Susanne Valenti. This is not a black fantasy series, but this story is about these twins who are fae. Well, they discover they're fae, Darcy and Tori, and not only are they fae, but they are fae princesses that were brought to the mortal world years ago. So they go back to Solaria, which is like a mirror world of Earth, but this is where all fae exist. And so the twins have to get into Zodiac Academy, which is this school where in order to be like a prominent fae, and in order for these two princesses to get their inheritance, they have to get into the academy, take tests, graduate, and do all that in order to get their inheritance. But there are 4 heirs they have been training their whole life to take over Solaria and take over the throne. So when they find out that the twins are back and alive, they are highly threatened and they start to bully the heck out of these girls. I actually have been enjoying these stories. This is a series that you either love or you hate. I look at this series as a palate cleanser. The world building isn't hard to understand. Kids in a college-like environment learning about their abilities, learning about this zodiac signs and their powers and what kind of fae creatures they are, and all the drama with the heirs versus the twins who are the princesses. It's just really good. I like it. There's romance, a lot of fighting between these heirs and the twins, but I still think it's a pretty good series and I've been enjoying it. I give all 3 books that I read in the month of December 4 stars. The last book of 2025 was Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. Now, y'all know I've been having like some mixed feelings about fantasy. I actually started this book in November and soft DNF'd it because it just wasn't giving what it needed to give. The book opens up where we are introduced to Khadijah. She is the arch princess of Aether Kingdom. The night before Khadijah's wedding to the Empyrean king, she decides to go to this little steamy club that she owns and have a night of fun before she gets married. She hooks up with this guy. They have a steamy night. Come to find out, she hooks up with the Apollyon king, Malachi. Malachi disrupts the wedding. Rashawn finds out about her night with Malachi, and so he is on a rash. It's a lot of drama that happens at that wedding, but Malachi ends up taking Khadijah. Of course, it's a lot of steaminess happening, but this book is mainly a lot of politics. And that is what had me soft DNFing it and almost just completely DNFing it because that's not my style of fantasy. I should have known this because I read N.E. Davenport's The Blood Trial series, and The Blood Trials was really good. But when it got to The Blood Gift, which was the second book in the series, I wasn't really sold on that one because it was a lot of political talk and just, it was too much. And in this book, it was too much too. I feel like we didn't get enough romance. We didn't get enough world building. It's really cool that Khadijah is like a warrior and they have these serpent-like dragons. And that was a big pull to this book, but that wasn't even explored. We only got a couple scenes with her and her female warriors and their dragon-like serpents. I wanted more of that, more of her and her friends, more of Malachi and his court. And so I just feel like we didn't really get a lot of that. And I know it's because this book is a standalone fantasy book, which I like. It's not drawn into a series. But because of that, I think a lot was left out. And then it was just too much politics. By the end, I did start to get into it a little bit more. And by the time the two of them were really like starting to develop a relationship, I was kind of liking it. So I'm giving it 3 stars. It wasn't horrible, just not my cup of tea. And, you know, I'm still trying to figure out what my fantasy tastes are. Shout out to Russell Reeves, who did a great video on figuring out what your tastes are when it comes to book genres. I'm still trying to figure that out. And I think I just like things to be a little bit more lighter, a lot more fun, heavy on the romance, but also heavy on the world building and the magic. And I really forgot that these people were fae. Like, they wasn't always doing magical stuff. I'd be like, oh yeah, she do have fire. You know, she'll start trying to burn somebody, and I'm like, that's right, she got fired. That's right, she got them dragon-like serpents. It was really focused on the steaminess. Like, y'all, they couldn't keep their hands off each other. It was a lot. But those are the books that I read in the last month of the year. Y'all get down in the comments and let me know what were some of your December reads. And thank you for tuning in to a Books with Kimberly video.